Everybody is here. Now we have to go for the experiment file. First close the window, refresh it. Now be careful if you don't have any clarification at any point, please let me know. Because now we are going practically to solve these models. And what are the requirements, what are the basics, and what are the skills actually to create your own file. Be careful once again, and your attention is very important, and you have to be mentally and physically you are here, and you should be mentally over here as well. Understand? So very much you can say attentive. So we have to close all the windows first, refresh it, and then restart it again. So this is your window actually. So first I will go the template file first, then I will show you how you will create your own file. Okay. First we have to go with exemplary file. Go again with the cereals, rice, any of the file. Might be we can select the sixth one. Then you have to go with this edit file with this icon. Got my point? With this one. So by clicking this, you will be on experiment file, or you can say you will be on your X file. Experiment file is also considered to be X file. Experiment. So you can see over there, this is the path of the within the drive of this PC. Means C, DSAT drives at this experiment, and this is experimental file. Clear? So what will be needed over here as the information? See, file type mean experimental file. Okay? Then experiment name specifically according to your requirement. That might be plant density, that might be nitrogen, that might be phosphorus and nutrient. Any of the treatment or any of the experiment that you conducted, you have to mention only keywords over here. Okay? Then institute code, I don't know about this one. Might be you can give your own code. Only two codes. Mean University of Agriculture is the institute where this experiment was conducted. Okay, UA, University of Agriculture. You can write this one might be. Okay, and site code is the specifically the experiment where conducted. The FD is the Faisalabad, is the location in central Punjab. That is the site code. Got it? And Ghazipur, this is specifically Ghazipur. So you can write GZ, might be. Okay? So here in which you conducted your experiments. Got my point? And experiment number might be your experiment are at different locations, and number of according to number of treatments. So you have to mention the experiment number as well. Clear? Crop rice. You can choose different crop. I mean, this is the list of crops. If you scroll down, this is the list of crops over there. Almost all crops, either they are cereals, either they are sugar crops, either they are oilseed crops, either they are you can say fruits, each and every crop, or you can say experiment is there over there. Legumes are there. So because your experiment are rice, so we have to choose rice, right? Clear? So basically, and you have to also mention the people name, your name, your boss name, your supervisor name, and your co-supervisor as well. You can give the information over here. And address Bahauddin Zakria University, the institute where you belong to. It doesn't mean that this address will be the same one where you conduct experiment. It doesn't mean. Institute might be the different one from the experiment site. See, this is the example. Site name is Faisalabad, but the person that conducted experiment, his affiliation or address is different one. So it doesn't mean that he has to be from the same site. Okay? Address and site, Faisalabad. Definitely, we are going to input all the experimental related information. So we have to mention the site, Faisalabad. So the code is FD, Faisalabad, FD. Clear? So this is all about your experimental information. While in next, you have to go for the plot information. Might be it's 2030. It's mean grass flight per meter square. It's up to you. If you are going to have the information of your experimental area in meter square, you can put over here. Okay. Then rows per plot. Then plot length in meters. Plot relative to drains degrees. If there is some elevation in your plot, then you can also mention over there. This is somewhat relevant to geography of the soil. Okay, plot spacing in centimeter between rows. What is the space? Because this experiment is about the density, so you have to mention the space as well. Okay, plot layout might be in meter square complete layout, the complete area of the plot. You have to mention length, width. Got my point? So harvest information. This is about the plot information, and now you have to go for the harvest information. Mean harvest area per meter square. If you are going to have 0.5 meter square area for your descriptive sampling, for time scale series, for top rate, then you have to mention over here. At the end of the harvest time, if you are going to harvest instead of 20 by 30 meters square, you have to harvest the complete plot. You can go only 1 meter square as well as a representative sample. Okay, please respond me. So I think can someone bring the charger for it? So this is all about the plot size as well. So next you have to go for additional information. If you have, then you have to go in additional farming. Okay, but if you don't have, leave it. So again, so this was the interface of experimental file, right? Then within the experiment, you have to go in environment, top left side. This is so-called experimental file, or you can say it X build file as well. Top right left, top left side. So this is also X build version 4.8.2. So this is the name of this specific file. Okay. Instead of writing experiment, whole experiment, it's written as a, you can say, code X. Understand? So in this file, you have to again go with the fields. Go with the environment. Okay, click on it. It will show you fields. So over here, when you will click on the field on the top left side, you have to go at environment. Environment field, then this interface will open. So over here, you have to put all the information. If you have multiple locations, then you have to add different types of description over here. If you have only one location, then leave it blank. Mean if you have experiment only at this university, then no need for any other location to put it over here. Please remember, Professor Kumar, you said right. I will show you the difference between one location and multiple location. So in my case, excuse me. In my case, my experiment was on multiple locations. So I will show you how we have to put if you have experiment at multiple locations. Okay. So you can put all the information over here. I mean, number of experiment and location where you conducted your experiment. But in this case, this is only one place. That's why there is nothing. But that one experiment, it's inbuilt, you can say, code. But that is the location of the experiment. The field where you conduct your experiments. Okay? So this is level 1. You have to put it as a field ID. It will be automatically, when you create this file, it will be created automatically. You don't need to put any information over here. Okay? So, weather station. Uh, this interface basically shows all the information that you have to put it in the experiment. Mean, first you have to create soil file, then weather file, then you have to go for X-build or experiment file. So I think, but it doesn't matter. So you have to create the weather station first, mean weather file. So I will also, after this file, I will go for the met file or weather file. Don't worry. So if your file is created in weather file, then automatically it will be showed over here. Automatically. No need to do anything with this one. It will be showed. If you are with a different location, I mean Ghazipur, if you created, then it will be shown over here. Right? Otherwise, this is all the locations, all the weather files that are inbuilt in the DSAT model. So we have to select our own file from there automatically. Understand? When you will put weather file over here, the code will automatically be there. Right? If you click on the right side, so these are the codes. So these are the codes of Faisalabad location only. Keep in mind. It doesn't mean in Faisalabad, in Ghazipur, say for example, if we consider the weather file of Ghazipur, then there will be different experiments of different persons. I mean, for professor, there will be different experiment for you and for all the people. There will be different experiments. But the location will be the same one. But code, you have to mention the code according to your experiment information that you put it in the last slide. Mean, this is the location, I mean institute code, location, year of experiment, and the last one, number of experiment. Mean that might be different. Professor has different experiment number. Year of the experiments might be different as compared to yours. Understand? So there will be list of experiments. When you put over here the Ghazipur, there will be different information that already you put it in on earlier on the last slide. Got my point? So again, this is all about the, if again there is geographical, you can say variation, then you have to type any drainage or you can say such type of thing. But normally we don't have any type of information or such type of ambiguities over there. So now we have to go for the soil file again. We have to create soil file according to the experiment, where it is, and accordingly, I mean the institute code, the site code, on number of experiments. Similarly, just like the weather file. Okay. Again, there are a lot of files within the DSAT from all over the world. So you have to select your own. Keep in mind. Then surface texture might be different. Clay loam, clay, sandy loam, and lot of other examples there. So what is the depth of you can say soil in centimeter? So you have to write over here, and also if there is depth, then spacing, you don't have to go in detail. Got my point?
So before coming here, these files need to be created beforehand.
Yes. Before going to create experiment file, you must have to create your soil file and weather file. But please.
This is the name Sandy Taylor. This is the before created file. Name of before created file.
Yeah, that's all the information that you have created. See, these are the list of soils that already created with different number of nature of soil, and also in the area where the experiments are conducted. Either they are from US, from all over the part of the world. So along with, they have different types of code as well. So for the time being, you have to skip these two files. You don't need to be emphasized on these right now. Just for learning, you have to keep and you have to give the concentration, you can say, for learning purpose for the time being. After this, I will tell you how to create weather file and soil file. Don't worry. Okay. So in next, we have to go for the initial condition. After fields, after field there are initial conditions, right? So over here, you have to mention the history basically of the crop and the soil. Mean what was the initial previous crop, what was the root weight of the previous crop, if that was you can say legume crop, then what was the nodule weight, kg per hectare, and so and so. And in the bottom there is residues. If you have to go for experiments, for example, regarding residues, then you have to write down the percentage of residues in the form of nitrogen. What was the nitrogen percentage? What was the phosphorus percentage? And so on. And also, there are some experiments that are, you can say, biotechnology or other people, rhizobia and legumes or such type of experiment you have to mention over there for the detail. Okay. So that is in number and effectiveness or water table, depth, crop residues, kg per hectare. Again, this is about you can say soil texture experiments. And also, what is the incorporation? Incorporation means the residues are properly incorporated in the soil, or that is just leave left on the ground. So you have to mention incorporation because some of the soil experiments are the zero tillage experiments are there.
So you see this in puddles and everything is
Exactly, 100%. If you are conducting some experiments, yes, you have to bury all the residues within the soil and some of the blank left behind. I mean, after legume crop, there is no incorporation or 50% incorporation, then you have to write over there. According.
and there are solutions for fallow.
Next, next. It will come, don't worry. So the depth in centimeter, this is the depth centimeter that you have taken the soil analysis up to 15 centimeter depth. This is that depth. The sample of the soil that you take that is around 0 to 15 centimeter. You take the sample of the soil. This is that one. Clear? So, yeah. So once again, this is your question, Professor. This is the basically interface that shows you the complete measurement of the initial condition. Mean when you have conducted the experiment, you have to mention the date. Mean this was May of 7. The experiment was conducted. Mean month, day, and year. Uh, May, June, July, July 5. Am I right? July 5, 2000, these experiments were conducted. Okay, initial condition for soil is the same one that we show, or you can say see on the last slide. Just you have to select your soil that you have created. Then on the left side, that is the year when you conducted the experiment. Simply you have on the left side of the reddish color years. This is the complete year file that is existed in the model already. So don't worry about that and you have to leave it blank. No need to select any year. While in the central table, that is the depth base of layer in centimeter. Mean you have taken the experimental analysis at the depth of 5 centimeter, 8 centimeter, 19, 28, 38, and what are the volumetric, you can say water in centimeter cube per centimeter cube. This is the what volumetric you can say measurement. And in the next table, that is the ammonium, you can say gram nitrogen per megagram, you can say of the soil. That is measurement of ammonium you can say. And in the next table, that is the you can say analysis of nitrate, gram nitrogen per megagram of the soil. Clear? You have to mean in soil samples you have to measure the ammonium, nitrate when you will after the sampling or after you take the sample. You have to measure with different depths with measurements. This is the depth, this is the measurement of different nitrogen and ammonium values. You have to put them. If you have. If you don't have, you have to keep it blank. But again, if you have, then the accuracy will be high. Definitely. If you put all the things with model, then it will give only the information that you will provide. So it is strongly suggested to have the soil data, weather data, and crop data that you have in an accurate form, so that the forecast or the simulation will be more accurate. Got my point? So next we have to go to the water percentage available, nitrogen percentage, kg per hectare available. So it can be different one. Say for example, you know the value of percentage availability of water. This is somewhat, if you don't have these values, these all values, then simply if you know the availability of water and nitrogen, then simply you put the values over here, then model will automatically you can say calculate by the equations that are already embedded in the backup, the values will be displayed over here. For example, be careful. I am going to
Is the volumetry water content?
exactly. So say for example, if we have 20% water availability and 50% you can say nitrogen availability in kg per hectare, then please see here. See the values. After we put all these two parameters information, then model we gave the task to model actually to recalculate all these values. See, write down or you have to mention the figures. It will be changed. For example, at 5 there was 0.37. Look, it will be changed automatically on just single click. If you don't have all these values with different depths, don't worry. You should have these two things in your mind or in your calculation. So model will calculate with different depths automatically. So this is the depth up to 152 centimeter in depth. So normally we can't go at almost
Not more than
50 centimeters. So these two values will make the difference basically over here and make easy in calculation of input data. Understand?
And layer.
So if you want to, I mean, if you have more gaps, then you have to add layer. For example, click over here. See, layer is added, and you can might be this is you can edit it as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say for example, this is 30. Okay, it might be if you know once again, if you know and have the data, then you have to add or delete the layer. Okay, you can change it up to might be 119, okay, and so on. Or if you not go in detail up to 152, you can say layer, then simply click here and delete layer. Again, he is saying, are you sure to delete? Just as a confirmation. So, okay. So these types of things you can play, you can learn. Okay. So now we have to go with okay. It's clear. Initial condition. So there are two things. Either if you have to complete this one, you have to click OK. Or in a vice versa, you can without clicking over here. By clicking, it means you are going to save this one. Or simply you have to go in this way that you have to go over there. Two options. One from here, one from the upper side. So next is soil condition. So over here, when you will put all the soil condition will will automatically will automatically display over here as a analysis. For example, what is the pH of the soil will automatically display over here. pH again is in two types, in KCl or pH in water. Which type of the pH you will consider? Okay. Again for phosphorus, these are different options. If you are going, because some of the scientists or researchers have some soil related experiments. So that's why these types of options are there. And we being agronomists, we don't need to go in detail for such type of things. Because there will be some impact on your output on the file. Got my point? Okay. So this is similarly for potassium. There will be different methods how you collect and calculate your potassium value. So these are the methods.
If you select the method and the window come, another tab will come, you put the value.
No. This is only the source.
All the values are there like numbers.
Yes, you have to put all the things over there with different layers. Mean what is the organic carbon, bulk density, total nitrogen, pH in water, pH in phosphorus, potassium, and stable organic carbon. For each value, you have to put it over there. Understand? Uh, let's move next. So some experiments are you can say based on temperature, based on carbon dioxide, based on greenhouse gases emissions basically. So for that type of experiments, you have to go in environmental modification. Mean if we have the concentration of CO2 right now, who will tell me what is the condition of CO2 right now? Around overall in the atmosphere? No? You can search from Google. Just Google it. No, 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 no. 400? 422 ppm right now. So if you want to calculate the impact of CO2 for the future, then you have to mention the CO2 as a might be 500 ppm, 600 ppm. Then your experiment will show you the projections, simulation for the future. Okay? So this 420 CO2 concentration right now is you can say just a decade before this was to almost 390. A decade before 380, 390, and just before that decade, I mean 2 decades before, it was around 350. So and so on. So the concentration of CO2 is going to increase with anthropogenic activities right now. And you can observe and you can physically you can say observe all the CO2 and other gases in the form of smoke right now. So in the atmosphere or in our air right now as well. So it depends. Anyhow, if you are going to have the experiments for future projections, then you have to select the environmental modification. So over here, there are different types of experiments. Main, if you are going to multiply different types of levels, you have to describe over here. I mean CO2 or other nitrogenous gases or other greenhouse gases. You have to put it over here, and you make the modifications for the long-term projections or future projections. Understand my point? So this is for again for day length, for radiation, maximum temperature, minimum precipitation, CO2, temperature, dew point temperature, and wind. So all these parameters we have to consider it in environmental modification. And what types of future projections according to our environment will be there if you put or we have to put and interested to get the environmental modification. I mean, impact of say for example, temperature is going to you can say increase day by day. So if we have to add it, or we have to multiply it, or we have to replace, subtract, it depends. So if some of the scientists consider it that we have to say for example, this is not unable to you can say ask, but they even think that might be temperature is going to reduce. Over here, you can also make the projections as well, especially for hilly area. The model, keep in mind, model is you can say the machine for all type of geography, all type of nationalities, all type of individuals. So that might be from coastal area, from plain areas, from mountainous regions. All people can use it. So all the information according to embedded accordingly. So from land, you can say plain areas, mountainous areas, coastal areas, or even from other localities as well. So this is all about
And sir, what about the date? What is this date? Date of
mean growing degree days, the length of the day. If you are going to have the day length,
this date, 7/5/2000. The date of what?
this is the measurement date. The experiment that was shown on July of 5th, okay?
The sowing date.
Yes.
Planting date.
Sowing date. So this is additional, you can say, component in the model. If you are going to the to find the projections of temperature or environment, weather parameters. No, this you can say component not need any information regarding, you can say if you are not interested in future projections based on environmental parameters, if you are not interested, leave it blank. Don't bother it. It's only for the future projection based on weather parameters. Okay? If you are not interested, if you don't have experiments regarding these types of parameters, leave it blank. Don't even go over there. Okay? But being a trainer, I have to mention and show all the things possible ways that are embedded in the model. Okay? So environment is almost complete over here. Next is our management. Mean real agronomy has started. So what type of cultivar we have, what is the planting date, what is the irrigation date, what is the fertilizer date, what is the organic amendments. I mean such type of things you have to mention over here on what type of tillage you have done, how much tillage and at which depth you have done, what is the harvest date, what is the chemical applications that you have applied on your crop. Okay, so we go in detail. First cultivar, if you have multiple crops or multiple cultivars, then you have to mention. Say for example, in my case, that was 3 cultivars. I mentioned 3 cultivars over there, but in this experiment, only 1 cultivar is there. So they have mentioned only 1 cultivar. Okay, got my point?
Yes, sir.
So don't know. You have to speak. So after cultivars, if you have multiple cultivar, you have to add, right? And even in rice, there are different types of cultivars. So when you will click over on the right side, these are the rice cultivars. Different rice cultivars that are embedded in the model. So you can see where is your cultivar. Okay? Just you have to select anyone, you can increase the cultivar. I mean, anyone. If you don't have um, multiple cultivars, you have to go with as it is.
So our calculator was in this morning.
You have to include. In
So
genetic coefficients,
okay.
in genetic coefficients, you have to add your cultivar. That will automatically display over there. In the backup file, when you will add your cultivar, I will tell you how to add. Don't worry. In genetic coefficients, as a breeder, you can say symbol of your cultivar. When you add your cultivar, it will be displayed over here automatically. Don't worry. Might be I can, but you will be confused actually. So you have to concentrate on this one by one. Okay. So after entry of all type of cultivar, you have to again, when you complete this section, next you have to go for planting. Because there was 3 treatments in planting, 1 seedling per hill, 2 seedling per hill, and 3 seedling per hill. Actually, honestly speaking, I am concentrating only one experiment so that you have the complete background, okay, of rice. So that you might not confuse between rice, wheat, legumes, and other. You have to concentrate when you are master in one crop, then you can play with other crops or with your own crops that you have. Okay, so there are 3 levels of you can say planting. So you have to add. You can see over here there are different levels of seedling after transplantation. Keep in mind this is after transplantation, not before transplantation. This is for transplanted rice. These experiments are for transplanted rice. And what is the method of plantation over here?
Transforming.
Yes. So you are familiar with that one. I mean, these are the experiments after transplanting. So if you have, I mean, you want to increase, you want to decrease the transplanting, or you can say treatments. Why? You have to put all the information over here. Keep in mind the date of planting, emergence date, because you don't need emergence date because you have the transplants. You have mentioned over there. It's transplanted, not swing crop. So you have number of hills, planting distribution in hills, plant population at seeding, number of plants per meter square. You have to write over here. And plant population at emergence, plants per meter square almost the same. Mean there is no mortality. Mean as you plant or transplant the seedlings, there is no mortality in the plants. So at the Seeding and emergence are the same one. And what is the row spacing? Might be 30, might be 20, might be 10. It's up to your experiment. Okay? You have to put over there row direction, degrees, no. Planning depth, almost 5 centimeter. In centimeter. Okay? Understand?
Yes.
Okay. So, next in management, once again, go to irrigation. Mean on which day you have applied irrigation water up to millimeter, and you have to in which way? I mean, there are possible solutions. Or if you select this one, there is option of different methods. Mean alternative furrows in millimeter, bund height, bund mean the elevated place. Also drip, trickle, flood depth, flood, furrow, percolation, and so and so. Puddling is also there. If you are puddle condition, then simply you have to select the puddling condition over here. Right? Sprinkler, water table depth, all types of options are there. It depends on your experiments. Clear? Means they have applied almost more than 10 irrigation along days. Keep in mind all the operations or management that you are going to apply with your experiments. You have to write down the amount of irrigation plus the date of the operation or the execution that you have done with your experiment. It's very important because you are mentioning all the dates over here with different types of intervals. You have to mention all the data in an accurate way. Clear? So you can also increase the number of irrigation as well. I mean, different types of irrigation levels as well. You can delete that. Here is the same one. Efficiency fraction. This is the technical word. Mean efficiency as the efficiency will be equal to what? This is ratio basically. As this efficiency is equal to 1 or 1, then mean efficient utilization of resources. So you don't need to you can say change the efficiency. It should be 1. This is the language within the model. In other words,
Water efficiency or
irrigation, irrigation, irrigation efficiency. Mean you are if you are applying the 100 millimeter of water on this day with this method, its efficiency is equal to 1. Mean all the water is required by the plant.
Is it possible?
Possible. When you are going to apply the calculated amount, then it might be.
There are two options. If it is crop water is efficiency, probably 100%, but if it is irrigation efficiency, it must be less.
Yes, actually it will be less because a lot of water evaporate in evaporation losses are there, percolation losses are there, different application losses are there. But I mean, this is you can't go over there just for your understanding purpose. You not need to change it anyway. If you will change it, the whole idea or whole picture of the experiment will be changed. So this is the ratio. You don't need to go over there. This is you can say no-go area. In other words, if you have until or unless you have the experiment regarding water requirement, especially just like drip irrigation, you can sprinkler irrigation, all types of irrigation that are mentioned over here, other than flood. This because in drip irrigation you have the calculated amount. and the efficiency of the irrigation and the utilization, you know automatically. So in that case, you have to, if you have the experiment regarding water efficiency, then you have to change. Okay, clear? So next we have to go. Clear? Any question? So next is the fertilizer. So what are the treatments in your fertilizer? How much the level of fertilizers are there, and what are the date of application, and what are the source of application of fertilizer? Mean the fertilizer is in urea, in DAP, in other formats. And what is the application application fertilizer application method? Either it is broadcast, either it is line application, or other ways. And what is the depth of application? Say for example, this is the type of material. If you click on this urea, then there will be option of fertilizers. Mean ammonium, which is the source of application of your fertilizer? Might be some scientists have fertilizer experiments, and they can apply in other source. That's why they are mentioned different types of sources. Inbuilt. These are inbuilt. Exactly. These are inbuilt application material of fertilizer. You can see.
So you just need to select the right option.
Yeah, according to your experiment. If you have, these are different types of sources, basically fertilizer sources in all form. I mean NPK plus micronutrients. So these are the sources of fertilizers basically. And what you have applied, you have to mention over here. Normally urea, so it's urea only. No. So you have to link anywhere urea, that will be one. So next is the application method. So either you have to apply with the irrigation, broad or band on saturated soil, band on surface. So these are the ways basically for application of fertilizer. Normally in our case, we broadcast and incorporate it in the soil. So it depends. Bottom of the hole, broadcast on the flood, saturated soil, up to level of percentage in the soil, it depends on your experiments. So this is the depth of in centimeter. This is the nitrogen that you apply. Yes. Keep in mind, this is for 0 kg. With for first treatment. For second treatment, if you click on the second treatment, look, this is 0 nitrogen over here. When you will click over there will be amount of nitrogen that will be changed. 50 kg exactly. Look, that is applied in splits. 25, 25 equal to 50. So above you have to mention the complete amount of fertilizer in kg. But on what date you have applied first fertilizer and on what date you have applied on the second dose in the form of splitting. You can say amounts. Clear? Similarly, if you go with the treatment third, then it will be 50-50. Means 100 kg with different date and with different method of application as well as source of application. Clear?
In my office, actually, there are three splits of urea, popularly.
As I yesterday or in this morning, I mentioned that split application is recommended for more efficient results. Instead, you have to apply all the fertilizer at the same time. So it's you can say to get maximum results, it's recommended to use maximum supplies. Even more than three, you can use.
So how we can split it?
Yes.
And another application.
Definitely. When you will go over there, I mean, you have to add the application. Say for example, next, go over here, make the cursor over there. Then you have to add the application. Okay. So instead, but that should not be beyond the 100. Beyond the 100. So you have to divide. You can make the treatments. This amount should be 100. I mean, say for example, if there are three treatments, and you have to divide 100 by 3, how much it will be? 33. 33, it will be 33. You can write manually over there. Don't worry. But the date, you have to mention. Understand? Even you can make more as well. I mean, similar way, from 70 to 90 days, this is the basically application of crop model. So if the results from 70 to 90 days that were mean simulated was higher and the observed was lower. If you make the splits of fertilizers and irrigation river, then the simulated and the observed one almost equal. Because when you will split the application, the efficiency of the crop is going to increase.
And fertilizer applied during land preparation.
It depends.
So where should we put that? Like, is there any option?
Yes, you can create. You can create the first one, add application. You can change the date. You can write over here.
Oh. Not any initial condition or
Initial condition is the different one. I mean that based on your whole picture of soil analysis. This is the fertilizer that you are externally going to apply.
so this is important thing.
Very good question. Just for understanding. This amount of fertilizer is the amount of fertilizer that you are going to apply other than the fertilizer that is already existed in the soil. This is the external source of fertilizer that you are going to apply in these days with these methods and with these sources. You have to mention only those ones. While the nitrogen, phosphorus and all the micronutrients that are already inside the soil, that will be mentioned in your initial condition that I mentioned and I show you. That is the that's why it is recommended that you have to have the soil analysis, because without soil analysis you are unable to find out that how much the soil is deficient in specific nutrient. Just like doctor, I gave you the example yesterday. When you are sick, you go to the doctor, then they prescribe you the number of tests. And on those test specific tests, they recommend you, yes, you have this type of infection and you have to cure or you have to take medicine even if there are. Otherwise, so that type of analysis is different one. This is the external source only. Clear? So it depends basically. Number of application you can go over there, you can delete over there, it's up to you. But if you are going to add, there is no confirmation. When you are going to delete, there is confirmation. Keep in mind. The software is very intelligent. If you are going to add something, he not ask you, are you sure to create file? But when you are going to delete, that pop-up comes that are you sure to delete? So keep in mind. And the other thing is, in DSAT model, there is no undo. Control Z. Keep in mind. Once you delete it, then delete it. Okay? And the second option is when we close this file, again it will ask that you have made changes in the file. Are you sure to save it? That I from yesterday I am again and again emphasizing that you don't have to save the inbuilt file or the example file. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. So next, this is clear? Padilana? Yes, please.
Second question is not clear.
Not clear. Which part of question that you are unable to understand?
Is label is considering as plot or sorry? Label is considering as plot or what?
Level is considering the whole plot size, not meter square. Say for example, your plot size is around 30 meter square. Then this is the application of 30 meters square, not only for 1 meter square. Clear? Anything else? And also, this is urea experiments. Similarly, you can conduct your phosphorus experiments, potassium experiments, calcium experiments, any other elements in kg per hectare. Because these are nitrogen experiments, only nitrogen rates are there. If you have the experiments on phosphorus, you have to mention over there. You have to mention potassium, calcium, any other micronutrients. You have to mention over there. Clear? Okay.
For water treatment it's like phosphorus, potassium, phosphate. So, should I mention the amount of phosphorus, potassium, other than that?
Yes.
How?
Same one, but you have to create level first.
Question is that this is the experiment of nitrogen fertilizer.
Yes.
But phosphorus, potassium, calcium, we use as blinded dose for all treatments. In this experiment, how we can mention?
As I already told you, this is the amount that we are going to apply externally, other than the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium that is inbuilt in the soil. Other than, yes, if you are going to apply phosphorus, potassium, calcium, and other elements, you have to mention over here. For example, with 30 kg nitrogen, if you are going to apply 20 kg potassium,
Yes.
you have to write over here. Okay? And if you are going to apply, for example, potassium, you have to apply, mention over here. But keep in mind externally, not within the soil. That is already in the form of samples. Similarly, say for example, some experiments are for calcium. You can mention over there. Okay. Say for example, other elements you can mention over there. No worries. Understand? Any type of nutrients. But right now, the emphasis are because model picks and model include only macronutrients, not micronutrients. So only macronutrients are there for the time being because we are not focusing on micronutrients. That's why the experiments are not reached up till that point.
So in the first level material, there are options like urea plus
Yes.
phosphorus.
Yes, will be there.
So,
Will be there just
but we can simply use this without doing that.
actually some fertilizer, for example, DAP is there. For example, that consists of urea, nitrogen, and phosphorus as well. So you have to find there will be DAP, diammonium phosphate will be there somewhere. So you can put D, might be over there, there will be the one. I mean, such type of fertilizer source will be there, then that contain automatically nitrogen, phosphorus, and might be potassium as well. Right. So this is the source of all manganese, mean magnesium. If you have experiments, then you have to mention this source as well. Understand? No. So zinc is there. I mean, all types of fertilizer sources are there. It depends on your experiment and on your choice. So please.
What I'm actually saying, say I applied urea.
Yes.
And it does not say how did I, which material I use for say phosphorus.
Phosphorus. Yes. There are two ways. If you have to mention over here the urea that is on that contains only nitrogen.
Create another level for phosphorus.
Exactly. You are on the right track.
At the same day.
Yes. 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 I can show you. I can show you. Very good question. It means you are learning. Sorry. So you have to add another application. For example, yes. Okay, and you have to go with the same date, right?
Same date, now phosphorus.
Yes. This one. And instead of urea, you have to go with might be you have to scroll down. Okay, thank you. It's visible? Okay. Yeah. So you have to scroll down. Might be there will be source of only
Potassium. P.
potassium.
P.
No. Phosphorus. Means you got my point. Yes. So over here, right over here,
You want your laptop.
uh, but over here, you have to
Actual zero.
exactly.
Click OK.
Sometimes if you play many times, then it will create something like that. So I mean, again, if you have to go with phosphorus only, say for example, what you have to do, you have to add application, okay? With the same date, you have to make the nitrogen as zero, phosphorus how much? 50. For example, source will be changed.
Yes.
That is
P. 50.
no, this is unable to have the option. You have to scroll down.
And then
Potassium. No, phosphorus. Yes. Okay. With the same date, but phosphorus is there. Exactly. With the same date. Exactly. Okay.
And because we broadcast, the depth of application
Yeah, yes, you can change it as well. It's up to you. Say for example, at irrigation level, because the application method is different.
In case of broadcasting, the depth of application is zero.
On surface,
Surface, only surface.
surface.
Yes, on the depth. The next column. Yes.
Yes, you can. It's up to you.
Just put
You can
zero
change.
or one.
Yeah, one, two. Because when you are going to apply an irrigation, the soil is soft,
Yes.
so it can go up to 1 centimeter. If you are going to apply, as I was showing, that might be in fertilizer condition, it will be on surface.
In
It's
some
up to you.
cases, nitrogen source balance the urea super gradient wall.
Uh-huh.
So in this case, recommended depth is 3 to 4 centimeter.
So you can write over there. Don't worry. I mean, this is applied with respect to different drills
This or hand.
by hand as well. So that's why depth is depth. Otherwise, you can write 3, 5. It's up to you. Understand? Any question? So similarly, for if you have to apply for potassium,
Yes.
again you have to add application. Okay. You have to zero this one, right? No. This one. Then say for example
60 kg.
60 kg. Okay. But you have to change the source as well. I don't know that it was.
Urate of potash. Urate.
It's actually in the form of let me check.
NPK ब्रिकेट कितना सीधा एक्शन NPK ब्रिकेट एक्शन कितना कितना करेगा
So this type of source material include all the NPK and all the micronutrients as well. So it depends on your choice.
I mean, we can select it from there, right?
Yes.
Let's move on. Yes.
So you can select over there. You can go on.
Yes.
Clear? Okay. So anything else?
Sir, in
Please.
case of there around.
Please speak loudly so that all the people can listen loud
Sir,
questions.
in case of urea, there are actually around 46% nitrogen. So the nitrogen kg per hectare you showing is the amount of fertilizer or is that the amount of
Fertilizer.
Nutrient. Exactly.
So is that nutrient?
Nutrient.
Yes.
N or P or K.
is the
This is
No, no,
nutrient.
no. It's
the
fertilizer.
The
fertilizer
source is urea, but amount of nitrogen will be 50 or 20. So you have to calculate 46.
Very good question. The net amount should be 100 kg. In urea, 46%.
46.
Okay. Mean in one bag, that bag contain 46 kg nitrogen, right?
Yes.
And the rest of the 4 kg in addition you have to apply for 4 kg exactly. Another 4 kg you have to apply to in addition to that bag to complete 50 kg.
Good question.
Understand? Mean it's a 100. Then how much it will be?
200.
2 bags and I guess 2.5 bags of urea. Understand?
yes, yes, sir.
Good. So this is all about your fertilizer, right? Understand? Can we go ahead? Okay. Then organic amendments. So this is organic amendments. If you have experiments, just this portion is basically for the soil scientists. That if you are going to have some experiments on soil carbon, soil nitrogen soil related, you can say experimentation. Then you have to add different type of residues material, amount of NKG, nitrogen, potash, phosphorus, incorporation percentage, and even if you have some intercrops, I mean to say intercropping or rotational crops that must have the residual impacts on the soil, then you can add, I believe, these types of things.
That residue,
Residues in the soil.
the other residue that we insert.
You have to mention over there.
No, not the one. There was a residue. The initial precondition or something like that.
That's something else. That includes in your initial conditions. But over here, that you have to mention that you will calculate according to your experiments. Clear?
If we add any organic chemical.
Yes. If you are going to add any organic amendments, then these are the residues. List of residues. Click on the residues. So these are the sources, are the material, are the, you can say, initial conditions that you can increase or reduce the residual material to improve the soil condition, to improve the organic sources or productivity or fertility of the soil. You have to mention. That might be anyone. You can see. So this is the list of residues, sources, crops. Understand? But normally we can't. Being a randomist, we can't do just like these types of experiments. These types of experiments are being conducted by soil scientists because their main objective is to improve the fertility of the soil. So that's why this type of option is utilized by soil scientists. But just for your information, you have to be very familiar with this type of experiments. Clear?
If we didn't use any, we could just simply leave it that.
Yeah, simple. Simply you have to not even look at this type of options. Because at initial conditions you have mentioned that what type of residues are already existed in the soil, you have already mentioned in initial conditions. So no need to go over there. Got my point? Clear? So the last one is no last. Next is now the parameters are basically related to soil scientists. So this is the basically village experiments. For example, there are some experiments that are utilized by, you can say, soil scientists just to have some village practices, village implements, and cultivator. These are different types of implements that are used in village. So it's again, you can say, applied by used by the soil scientists, not the environment. Sometimes there is zero village as well. For example, so you can go ahead. Okay, understand? Next, harvest. You have to put all the information regarding crop. What is the harvest date? Okay, and what is the crop over there, and what is the management. Keep in mind, this is the view you can say icon that you have to consider. Management means this is the date of harvest when you have mentioned over here. This is the harvest date. Mean over somewhere else you have mentioned the harvest date as well. So you have to mention over here the reported date. There are multiple options over there. Mean you can choose a date after planting and the unreported date. Unreported date means you have to mention the date of harvesting to get the results, accurate results of your experiment. Clear? Unreported date. You normally we mention unreported date because we know the date of harvesting of our experiment. To avoid the simulated simulations, we mention over there as reported date. Okay? So, sorry. So this is the basically it depends on the crop to crop. Some types of crops are I can say different stages. Main
Harvested at which stage?
yes.
In the
And juvenile phase, panicle initiation in maize or corn, there is panicle. Oh sorry, in rice. You if you want to count the harvest date up to panicle initiation date, then you have to mention over here as a panicle initiation. Okay? If you are going to sorry, if you are going to mention maturity, germination, emergence, it's up to you. Different stage. It depends on the requirement of your experiment. Objective. So you can select anyone.
because there is one called harvest.
Sorry? Harvest, yes. Harvest means completely harvest. Maturity.
Oh, now there is a different code. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
wondering what the code. Where does the code come? You
Ah,
actually select the
value
option and the code comes out.
exactly. These each of the value has different code. Say for example, we put it as harvest. It's all one code, right? Say for example, you are going to have maturity, then it's 006. So again, model has different types of backup data that we are not going to go in detail, but that is going to process in you can say on the back side as a backup. So we not need to go in detail, but we have to mention our own things over there. So there are different coding system, in the model. So, but again, in my opinion, this facility is there that what type of the required stage that we have is mentioned over there. So we don't care about code 161434, whatsoever the cases, we don't need to go in detail. But we need only the stage that we have to harvest. Clear? So again,
Sir,
if you
what's
have
the difference between harvest of the last option here and the harvest maturity?
harvest maturity,
And sir,
who will tell between the
sir,
harvest and harvest maturity?
at the very last, it shows the
Yeah, yeah,
harvest.
yeah, yeah,
One
yeah,
option
yeah,
it
yeah.
shows the
I,
maturity.
I, I, I can understand. I can respond your question. Anybody want to tell?
Maturity means the city was the maturity maybe. Harvest means that 1, 2 or 3 days later than harvest.
Sometimes the physiological maturity completes, but still the crops is in the field. So might be due to weather conditions, might be due to some time limitations, some exactly unavailability of your harvest machines. Okay, got my point? So it depends. But normally we select the harvest. Our physiological method, yes, if your experiments based on the number of days, then you have to go for harvest maturity. Otherwise, the date of the harvest is perfect. But it's not make any significant difference. Clear? Any other question? So this is all about management.
What about the components and size?
Yes, good question. What type of harvest you are going to harvest? Only canopy, top side, or harvest product only the grains, or only leaves. Again, it's up to your experiments. Canopy is the topmost. Mean include your leaves, stem, each and everything. Harvest product mean your product mean grains only. Leaf means only leaf, not stem and not your grains. This is that type of. Actually, when you will play by yourself, these are the smaller things. When you will go, I will suggest to repeat it at your home. Tomorrow morning, when you will come back, you have to come with a lot of questions that you have stuck over there. And I will be pleased to respond that type of question. So these are the things that I left blank up to you. Okay, when you will click over there, I am not going to tell you in detail because most of the time this training takes at least a week, at least a week for complete, for complete overview as well as hands-out training. Each and everything takes at least a week. Otherwise, 10 days are enough to have hands-out training each and everything. But we are going to cover it in 3 days. So that's why I am again left you can say leave the things so that you can try by yourself. And learning will be just like that. Okay? And again, if you go over there, all type of material that you have, leaves, stem, harvest, grain, sometimes roots, you have to include all these over there. Mean full size, all these options are there. Mean all mean the complete portion of plant or crop. While sometimes some of the experiments are that we have to, you can say, need only experimentation on medium size, mean grains and leaves. Sometimes, but these are different ones. Don't leave it, leave them. So these are the harvest grain per percentage. The formula that we have. Grain yield over tops weight and we take the ratio of you can say harvest grains. So we have to put the harvest next of grain over here. Anyhow, clear?
Yes, sir.
So the last one is the chemical application. Some experiments, for example, cotton needs the chemical application. So we have to apply the chemical application with date, with source, and with the amount. What type of amount of application and chemical application method? What is the method of chemical application and what is the depth of chemical application and what are the targets basically? So we have to mention over there. So over here, if you go in detail, then especially as I mentioned that in wheat or rice wheat, in rice you have to apply some herbicides.
Herbicides and pesticides.
Exactly. So you have to mention over there date of application and also chemical source.
Chemicals made different from the list.
No, these are the basic chemicals. The name you can say
Generic.
generic name, not the product name. So different companies have different product name, but the basic generic name is the same. So this is over here fungicide, insecticide, you can say herbicides, and also pesticides will be there. All type of material, chemical and material will be there. But over here, that's showing only for rice crop. Keep in mind, because our main crop in the beginning is rice. So rice relevant chemical will be included over here, not for cotton, not for other crops. Okay. And what is the amount of application you have to mention? Sorry, 9 kg per hectare.
Those amount will be the amount of generic
Product.
generic
According, that is on milliliter. Milliliter are just like thing, but you have to convert it to kg. Actually.
Now is it amount of element that you are applying or the amount of product?
Product. Say for example 1 liter, you have to convert 1 liter into kg. Liter into kg, there is a little difference. Volume, solid and liquid, you have to convert it.
Amount is say 2 liter per hectare.
Exactly. 2 liter per hectare is the amount of chemical that we apply. But over here to the model, you have to convert the liter into hectare, into kg, sorry.
Kg per hectare.
Exactly. You have to mention kg per hectare, not liter per hectare. Keep in mind.
Kg per hectare.
Yes, we apply as a liter per hectare in liquid form, but you have to convert the amount that you apply the chemical in from liter to kg. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is all about management.
I have a query on harvest.
Please. Harvest.
Here we grain harvest. We have many treatments. So here we put average harvest limit.
It's depend. If you have many treatments, first you have to
Here
create.
we have three treatments for nitrogen: 0, 50 kg, and
Yeah.
100 kg. What we put here grain harvest?
Uh, in my opinion, you will add the harvest. Okay. So also you have to add the. Basically, this is the only way. You can say one seed per hill, second heat, but their harvest time was the same, not different. That's why level of description of you can say seed length was the same one. Harvest was the same one for all type of planting density of the crop. But again, if you have different number of harvest, be for one hill per hectare, you have different harvest. For 2 hills per I mean per hill, you have different dates. For 3, yes, you have to add the label over here.
For this experiment, we have 15 treatment combination.
Yes.
For 15 combination, grain harvest will be different.
Different.
For 15.
Yes.
Then we have to add for 15.
Yes. Over here with date.
Same way for
15 days with different date. Definitely different grain harvest will be for different dates.
different or same date.
It's different. Clear?
Yes.
It's all about your experiments. Requirement of your experiment. Clear?
Yes.
Can we go ahead?
If we left or don't put any value in any column, what will happen?
You have to only mention your harvest date. No need to create anything. If you have same harvest date for all type of treatment, then you will left it blank. Only you have to mention the harvest date. Model will automatically pick up all the proceedings right from initial condition up till now. It will take care because in if you remember at initial condition, this is the date. This is the measurement date. When you ask the model to start the measurement of your simulation, of your experiment. From which date? You have mentioned over here already. Okay? So all the parameters are there, all the things are there, and all the data is there. So no need to worry about that. Model will take care
Okay.
on your behalf.
Have you saved it?
No. It will come when you will close this one, then option will come, don't worry. I will tell you.
But apparently it looks like you have saved it.
Yes. When you will close this window, complete this interface, then option will came that do you want to save this experiment? Otherwise no. If you are going to play in this area, I mean in all these components, the option will not came. No. But this will be saved. Saved. But as a draft, not as a complete safety, you can say in the hold up. Yes, what you have done, it's already apparently you will see it's saved. I mean, say for example, what we are going to make the changes. When fertilizer? No. Yeah, and the third one. Yes. There is. It looks like that we have saved all the things.
Not the final save.
No. It's just like the interface that we are working. That is saved. And the beauty, once again, of the ground model is if you stuck over here and due to some reason your PC stopped working, then it will not save. Keep in mind. Yes, if you want to, for example, first let me complete first, then I will show you. Otherwise, might be it will be waste all the things. So next, what you have done right from environment till management chemical application. What you have done will definitely appear in your treatments. Okay? So this is the complete picture of experiment that you have done right from initial condition up till now. So there are different types of experiments. There are different types of this slide basically or this interface basically show you all the exercise, all the work that you have done up till now, right from initial condition till chemical application. And all the things are embedded or completed in this slide of treatment. Either they are fertilizer based, either they are cultivar based, either they are field relevant, either they are planting, irrigation, fertilizer, residues, and if you have chemical application, that will be existent over there. Understand? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any question? So, simulation options. Next is simulation option. So, over here, you have to tell the model when your model have to start simulation. I mean, there are some experiments that you ask the model that you have to simulate right from vegetative stage, not from planting stage. Sometimes different experiments that you have to start the experiments on maturity stage. So it depends on the requirement of your crop. But normally it is suggested that you have to start, you have to ask, you have to mention the values or the sowing, you can say options or simulation option right from day of sowing. Okay, because on the day of sowing you have the complete, you get the spreadsheet day.
For us in Bangladesh, first we do the seedling in seedbed. Then after 40 days, we transplant in main field. So what is the date here?
From transplant.
From transplant.
Because where Where I told you that this is not start, I mentioned over there. Do you remember? I don't know where it was, but I think that was it. Planting? Yes, this one. Okay? It might be dry seed, yes. If you are going to start from dry seed, you can write over here as a dry seed. So that was yes, you can write the C and also all the transplants. It's up to you. Options are there. Clear? Anything else? So simulation options. Normally you have to, because this is one experiment and 1 year, so we have to write over here as a simulation for 1 year and one replication. We for specifically for this experiment, not for others. Got it? So there are other options. Say for example, water for level we have to consider it. Yes. Nitrogen, yes. Symbiosis, if some experiment as already mentioned that some experiments are on rhizobia or legume crops, then we have to mention this type of things. Phosphorus experiments might be there, then we have to put if you enter the amount of phosphorus in the experiments, then you have to mention as a yes over here. Keep in mind, if your experiment is for phosphorus related experiment, then you have to, this is basically simulation. It will simulate all the options that will be, you can say, included at the output file, where we are unable to have some outputs because phosphorus was not able to be, you can say soil phosphorus was not able to be mentioned over there. Why? Because over here that is low, simulation is low in build. Understand? So if we mention yes over here, then the interface that appears over here, and there was different types of validation, plant grow, and all types of soil related. If that type of experiments you have phosphorus related evaluation, then you have to make the option as yes. Then it will show over there at the sign of output files exactly. Output files.
That means if we use phosphorus
Yes.
as a contributing factor
Exactly.
in the
Experiment.
experiment.
Yes.
But if we, as she said, if we use, if nitrogen is only the variable, and we are using phosphorus and other elements equal amount, equally in all treatments, we can leave it no.
No. Yes.
Because our phosphorus in that case will not have any effect on any of the particles.
Yes. Exactly.
So yeah, we must mention the just treatments here.
Exactly.
Phosphorus is the treatment here.
Yeah.
Only nitrogen is the treatment.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to say this one. So if you are experiments are according to different types of potassium, chemicals, diseases, and so you have to mention. The model will simulate only for water, for nitrogen, not for other parameters because we don't need them.
But when we start the 15 treatment, the combination for two factors. One is plant density, another was nitrogen density.
Yes.
But where is the plant density?
That is inbuilt, don't worry. This is about nutrition. When in management you have already mentioned over there. Okay? Clear? And what is the methods? Weather measure data. You can also model have all the facilities for you. If you will not have any, you can say weather data, then you have to select simulated with these types of variables. Then model will automatically pick the weather data that is already inbuilt of specific location automatically on your behalf. But normally we put it as your data because you have already created the file, your own station for accuracy purposes. So please. Yes, but it's recommended that nearest station is preferred to be preferred because NASA data that is normally linked with your national grid, and national grid doesn't mean that that is existing in different location. So it's recommended that your nearest location should be preferred as a Maya data, and you have to create the data Maya data into the model by yourself. That will have somewhat different results as compared to you have to pick up from the NASA. Basically, these are the NASA related measurements. WTG files, generated ones. These are NASA based, you can say generated, simulated weather stations. So if you don't have the media data, you can select any of them. Okay? Understand? So I mean, again, there is no problem for any type of data that you have. And also soil initial conditions that you have mentioned over there as reported. Similarly, transpiration, infiltration, photosynthesis, you don't need to change these types of variables or parameters. So these parameters are standard parameters basically that are already inbuilt according to the whole condition. Yes, if you have other than this one, then you have to go for other type of parameters. But normally it is suggested you can't have to change these type of options, and you have to leave it as it is. So management again for planting you have to mention over there as reporting date because you have the planting date. So don't need to change that, and if you will change the different one, then automatically you can write automatically. If you don't have, if you have the planting date, then no need to change it as automatic. Clear? Irrigation and water management again unreported date. No need to go in that. So this is basically simulation option is the complete you can say uh, complete rehearsal what you have incurred right from initial condition till treatments. This is verification basically. Again, that you have done this. If are you sure to choose this on reported date, or you have to depend on the model. So this is complete verification, the essence of the all the values that you have given. Agree? Any question? Similarly for fertilizer, organic, harvest, at maturity, because we have mentioned over there as maturity. Okay? So outputs, these types of things are as a output. Once again, yes, you have to have the overview, you have to have summary, nitrogen. Again, these types of things were not over there. You have to put as group. Yes, water, yes, nitrogen, yes. If you have some diseases experiments, phosphorus experiments, any village related experiments, okay, and different types of herpes, rhizobia, and other kind of things you have to mention over there. Clear? Anything else? So after that, you have to make the refresh. So over here, please read it. Who will read? This is confirmation basically. What you have done, do you really want to refresh it, save it, not save it? Want to refresh it only. Because this interface that you have done. Okay? So I would say, and I already mentioned you, that you don't have to need to save or refresh or make the thing. So this is all about your experiment file. So when you will close, this is the option that we are talking about. So don't save or press yes button for exemplary file. Keep it on. So this is, you can say, that was learned for learning purpose basically. So if you click on yes, then the experiment, whenever you will open this one, that will not be, you can say, either you have to reinstall your model, then it will be okay. Otherwise, that will be saved. Okay, understand my point?
Yes.
So this you have to press no. This is all about your experiment file. Once again, if you will go to management, where we have made changes, in fertilizer,
100
in 100 kg, look, if you press yes, then all the changes that we have done will be there. Clear? So this is all about your experiment. So in the similar way, if you are new one and you want to, this was about the inbuilt file just for learning purpose. So if you want to add your experiment, simply you have to go on the left corner top side from management data. On the left side top. So this is new experiment file for you. Okay? Say for example, this is new one. So you have to start from zero. For your experiment, mean you have to put all the experimental name over here, all the codes, each and everything. You have to follow all these things. You have to manage all these things. At the end, there will be treatments. Okay? All the things are there. Don't worry. So it gets created because a problem because we have to start from zero without completion of previous options or initial conditions, because there is initial condition, we have to enter the field ID that is asking for field ID. So we are unable to go without field or any information. Okay. So the exercise or the one assignment, you have to create, you can say, template file from your own experiments for experiment. Okay, for tomorrow, for tomorrow morning. Okay, it will be done. Okay, if there will be something wrong, then I can suggest or I can
Sir,
please.
can you please restart this process? New expelled function.
How you
How do
create
I
your experience?
oh, I want to find you.
It's close, let's close.
It will not load. Just you have to go on the interface, top left side,
Mhm.
on the crop management name. Okay, when you will click over here, blank sheet will open.
Okay.
Okay, then you have to put all the information that we have. We have in the template file. Say for example, these one. All these ones that will be there. These are template files. Okay? Yes. So close it. I think that will not stay. Don't, don't. That will not stay.
হ্যাঁ
Okay, Ji? Anything else? So, can we take break?
Yes, sir.
And after break, we will cover up because most of the things was relevant to experiment. Major of the office here. So major portion was the experimental file. How you have to create and put all the data according to your experiments in the X build. Rest of the weather file, S file, soil file, they are already specific parameters that you don't need to have any calculations because the weather data that you will receive from the mentally format that automatically include maximum temperature, minimum temperature, rainfall, you can say solar radiation already there. So just you take the file from them and you have to put it in the model format. That's it. So that will not take any more time or such type of time that we have spent over here. Okay, that's the soil file and weather file takes few minutes as compared to this one that we have taken almost 2 hours for X file. Anything else?
sir
Okay. So after break, sir, how much time? 2:30. 2:30. 2:30 now. We are little bit late. So 2:45. Okay. Please maintain your time. তোমরা তো শিখতে চাও তাহলে time maintain করো। And আমি তো I told you earlier, we need to see his brain as much as we can. So that I can send him back to Pakistan without brain. আচ্ছা তোমরা কাইন্ডলি ওই যে সিগনেচার শিটে সাইন করছো না ডে 1 ডে 2 ডে 3 সাইন করছো না একটু কাইন্ডলি সাইন করে দিন
ওই খাতাটা 200 টাকায় বিক্রি করে আসা যত লিখছে এখানে 100 কি যেন একটা কিনছিলি না 100 টাকা দিয়ে এটা বেচে আগে দুটো কিনতে পারবি
কি হয়েছে তো তুই এত ভাব নিচ্ছিস কেন আমার সাথে
আরে আমি কালকে আইসিইউ সামনে বসে আছি
হ্যাঁ
আর তুই কি করছিস এসব ফোনই ধরার সময় নেই আর তুই এসব কি করছিস না
শালার বেটা
আমি সামনে আমার বসে আছি
কি বলিস কখন
এখন পর্যন্ত সেন্স ফিল আসে তারপর আরো কত ঝামেলা
কি বলিস
রক্ত দেওয়া লাগছে 6 ব্যাগ ওই রক্ত আবার ওপেন লাগছে তারপর এখান থেকে এই সাইড দিয়ে হচ্ছে ফুটা করে দিচ্ছে ভাবছে যে হচ্ছে ফুসফুস দিয়ে পানি বের হচ্ছে